Hello students, today we are going to study design of flexible pavement. Now the first topic is method of pavement design. Various approach for flexible pavement design may be classified in three broad groups. The first one is empirical method. These are based on physical properties and strength parameter of soil subgrade. The group index method, CBR method, stabilometer and MacLeod method etc. are empirical methods. Now we will start with the first method, that is group index method. Group index value is an index assigned to the soil type in numerical equations based on the percent fines, liquid limit and plasticity index. The group index value of soil vary in the range of 0 to 20. The higher the group index value, weaker the soil subgrade, hence greater thickness of pavement required. Now group index value will be equals to 0.2a plus 0.005 AC plus 0.01 BD, where A is equals to P minus 35, which should not be greater than 40, B is equals to P minus 15, which should not be greater than 40, C is equals to WL minus 40, which should not be greater than 20, D is the IP minus 10, which should not be greater than 20. Now P is defined as the percentage finer, that is percentage of soil passing from 0.075 mm sieve. WL is the liquid limit of the soil and IP is the plasticity index of the soil, which will be calculated by the formula WL minus WP, that is liquid limit minus plastic limit. To design the pavement thickness by this method, first the GI value of the soil is found, the anticipated traffic is estimated and is designated as light, medium or heavy. Now for light traffic volume, the number of vehicles per day will be less than 50. For medium, it will be in the range of 50 to 300, and for heavy traffic volume, it should be greater than 300 vehicles per day. Based on the anticipated traffic and group index value, thickness of pavement layer is calculated. The thickness of subbase depends only on group index value. However, the thickness of surface and base course combined depends on both the traffic as well as the group index value. Now note is written here, in actual practices we have curves available for total combined thickness and thickness of surface and base course only corresponding to traffic and the group index value. Hence from total thickness of subbase is obtained by deducting the thickness of surface and base course combined from the total thickness. Group index value lies between 0 to 20. Higher the group index value, poorer the soil and hence higher thickness of pavement required. Now the limitations of group index method. Quality of pavement material used is not considered. Thickness required is same even if better quality of material is used. Total thickness of pavement depends upon group index value, whereas thickness of base course and surface course depends upon group index and traffic volume. Now the next method is the CBR test. Soil sample is taken over the vessel and load is applied through plunger with penetration rate of 1.25 mm per minute. It is shown here. Different load values are noted corresponding to different penetration of a CBR curve and a curve is plotted. If the CBR curve convex throughout, the load corresponding to 2.5 mm and 5 mm penetration are noted as P2.5 and P5.0 respectively. Sometimes initial concavity is also found. Now these load values are compared with the standard load values and CBR value is found. Now CBR value can be determined by using the formula, that is CBR for 2.5 mm penetration will be equals to load at 2.5 mm penetration divided by the standard load, that is 1370 into 100. For 5 mm penetration, the CBR value will be equals to load at 5 mm penetration divided by 2055, that is the standard load, into 100. Note, CBR for 2.5 mm penetration should be greater than CBR for 5 mm penetration, but if CBR for 5 mm penetration is more than the CBR for 2.5 mm penetration, the test should be repeated and whichever comes higher will be adopted as CBR value. Now design of thickness of pavement by CBR method. Thickness can be determined by using the formula, that is under root of 1.75 P upon CBR value minus P upon pi small p, which will be in centimeter, where P is equals to wheel load in kg, small p is contact pressure or tire pressure. It can be determined by using the formula P upon pi p, and the solution will be equals to A square. Now the limitations of CBR method. Quality of material is not considered for thickness design. This method is not valid for higher value of CBR, that is, CBR should not be greater than 12%. Now next method is the semi-empirical or semi-theoretical methods. These methods are based on stress-strain function and experience, that is triaxial method. Now according to the triaxial method, thickness of pavement required above subgrade layer can be determined by using the formula Tp will be equals to under root of 3pxy upon 2 pi es into delta whole square minus a square minus es upon ep to the power 1 by 3. Now Tp is inversely proportional to ep, so it will be equals to T1 upon T2 is equals to E2 upon E1 to the power 1 by 3. For single layer system, EP is equals to ES, where P is equals to wheel load in kg, X equals to traffic coefficient, Y is rainfall coefficient, ES is modulus of elasticity of subgrade in kg per centimeter square, delta is design deflection in centimeter, A is radius of contact area in centimeter, and EP is modulus of elasticity of pavement in kg per centimeter square. Now the theoretical method for the flexible pavement design. These are based on mathematical computation. For example, Burmester method is based on elastic two-layer theory. Now according to the Burmester layered system method, the assumptions of this method is material in each layer are isotropic, homogeneous and elastic. Pavement forms a stiffer layer having value of E than that of subgrade. The surface layer is infinite in horizontal direction but finite in vertical direction. It means that the length and width is infinite and height is finite. Layers are in constant contact. Donald M. Burmester developed the layered system analysis. The flexible pavement sections are composed of layers and the elastic modulus of the top layer is the highest. This method is based on modulus of elasticity of different layers. As per layered system, modulus of elasticity of base course should be greater than modulus of elasticity of subbase course should be greater than modulus of elasticity of soil subgrade. Young's modulus of elasticity of upper layer should be higher as compared to that of lower layer. Now displacement relationship by Burmesters. For flexible plate, the wheel load acting over a pavement or any other surface is considered flexible plate base. Now delta will be equals to 1.5 PA upon ES into FZ, where delta is equals to design deflection, P equals to contact pressure at road surface due to wheel load, A equals to radius of contact area, ES is the modulus of elasticity of soil subgrade, H is the thickness of reinforcing layer, FZ is equals to value as per value of ES upon EP and H by A. This is called deflection factor. For rigid plate, delta will be equals to 1.18 PA upon ES into FZ. The above formula is applicable when rigid plate used, like steel plate used in plate load test. If plate load test is conducted on soil subgrade only, in this case, thickness of pavement, that is H is equals to 0, that is called single layer system, for which Fz will be equals to 1. In the derivation of displacement equation, the Poisson's ratio mu is taken as 0.5 both for subgrade and pavement material, that is mu s is equals to mu p is equals to 0.5. The plate diameter for load test may be taken as 30 cm and design deflection may be taken as 0.5 or 0.25 cm. It has been recommended that 9 trial sections be constructed, 3 each on fill, cut and level area. In each type locality, 3 pavement thickness values equals to 2 by 3 h, h and 1.5 h are adopted and the actual pavement thickness required for the critical deflection is found. That is all about the design of flexible pavement. Thank you very much, students.